Hello everyone, I'm back, and today we are going to talk about one of the new boarding patrol box sets, the Orks. Recently I made a video about the Orks, so I will link it into the video and into the description when you can check out their main rules and the reasons why Orks are so awesome. If you're interested in your favorite green guys, this boarding patrol box set could be a great starting point for you. You can use it to make really great Ork boarding patrols or even teams for kill team, but it's also a nice starting point. You get 3 units and an HQ, and we are going to check out them. But currently, the HQ's stats and abilities are not revealed yet, so we are going to check the old one and make a little theory crafting what will be the new one, according to the new models that GV released currently, and their changes. Soon this box set will be able to be pre-ordered. Price on this box set $140 or 110 euros, but you can see it on the picture. If this is true, you will make a great saving on this box set, because its current value is 182.5 euros. I calculated the new character's Sneakerot's price on the new Ork models prices. Okay, let's check out those units first that we already know their stat blocks. First, let's check out our troop option. Bisnaga Boys, 10 models for 100 points. This is a 10-man unit. These are your average trusty Anga Banga Orks, who likes to go there, hit stuff, maybe shoot some pistols, but other than that, mostly just hit stuff. And because they're Bisnagas, they really like to hit bigger stuff, so vehicles or monsters. They get advantage against them. Usually every model in this unit, except their leader, has one Slugga, which is a pistol, range 12, 1 shot, strength 4, 0 AP and damage 1. Due to their terrible ballistic skills, usually they won't do much damage in shooting. However, those banging noise makes them feel warm in their hearts. But the other weapon, the Choppa, this one is really great. Usually a Bisnaga boy attacks 2 times, but with Choppa he attacks 3 times. So it gives them 1 additional attack. It has 1 point of armor penetration and damage 1. The attack's strength is the same as the user's strength, and this is where the Bisnaga boys are a little bit better than normal Ork boys. They have strength 5, so they wound Space Marines much easier. Usually a Bisnaga boy has 1 wound and 6+ armor save, which is basically a t-shirt. But because they are Bisnagas, they have a 6+ invulnerable save. But the unit's leader has 2 wounds, because he's a nob. He's a little bit bigger, little bit tougher. But also, he has a special weapon. He has a Power Snappa, which is basically a big scissor with power field around it. With it, he attacks 3 times with a strength 7, 2 points of armor penetration and damage 2, which makes it ideal to deal with Space Marines or light vehicles. Yeah, he also has the Slugga, the pistol, that is irrelevant. Other than that, for 5 points, you can give this unit a thumb gun, which would be an okay upgrade, but since their ballistic skill is terrible, I wouldn't give them this one. This one is basically for 5 points, a range 18, assault D3, so it has shots between 1 and 3, and you can shoot it even after running, but then you have to subtract 1 from your hit rolls. So in this case, it would only hit on 6s. It has a better strength with a strength of 6, it has 1 point of armor penetration and D3 damage, so damage between 1 and 3. It also has the blast ability, which in this case means if you are shooting at a unit which has at least 6 models or more, you always shoot 3 times, so you don't have to roll the D3. We will go through their basic rules really fast because you can hear more about it in the video that I linked. But basically, they are Bisnagas, so they have a 6+ invulnerable save. And they hit vehicles and monsters a little bit better. You can add 1 to your hit rolls. They also have Here We Go. They can reroll their charge rolls. They have Mob Rule. It is a little defense in your morale phase, because you never considered under half strength. And they also have War. So when your war boss calls War, you got some really cool buffs. But that's it about them. Let's check out our next unit, the Flash Gits. 5 models for 100 points. First of all, this unit looks awesome, and their leader is called the Captain. How cool is that? Let's check out what you get in this 5-man unit. You get 1 Captain and 4 Flash Gits. Each model in this unit is equipped with a snaz gun and stick bombs. But I can't really see a scenario when you are going to use stick bombs instead of your snaz guns. Snaz gun. It has a range of 24. It is heavy 3, so it makes 3 shots. But it is heavy, so if you are moving, you have to subtract 1 from your hit rolls. These 3 shots has the strength of 6, 2 points of armor penetration and damage 2. So it is ideal to deal with lighter vehicles, Space Marines, bikers, or anything that is lighter than that. Also, for your captain, you can add a Slugga or a Choppa. The Slugga is the pistol that we talked about earlier, but you shouldn't give him that one. You should give him a chopper. It would make this unit a little bit choppier. Other than this, you can buy some upgrades. First one is Gitfinda Squig for 5 points. Each time when a ranged attack made by this model, you can add one to the attack's hit roll. And the other one is called Amorant for 5 points. Once per battle, when the bearer makes a ranged attack, you can reroll the hit roll. Yes, as I said earlier, orcs are not very good at shooting, but this unit ain't half bad. They have a ballistic skill 4, which is better than around 90% of the orcs. But also, if you buy the Gitfinda Squig for your captain, he will be hitting on 3 pluses, which is around Space Marine level. But with this gun, it is really great. Other than this unit has Here we go, so they can reroll their charge rolls. They also have the mob rule and the whoa. They are far from the best unit of the orcs, but in some shooty lists, they can be really good. Let's check out the last big unit, the Commandos. This unit is a rather interesting one. 10 models for 110 points. One of the best orc model is inside of this kit. The orc guy with the beanie. Man, that is awesome. He is the reason why I started orcs. Okay, this unit is a little bit confusing, because they made specially for kill team. So they work like a specialist unit, which is not a problem, but they have access to 9 different weapons and 2 different upgrades, which can be a lot. And here is my disclaimer. You shouldn't give them more than 2 or 3 types of different weapons, because then you have to roll each weapon separately, which wouldn't be a problem, but it takes up a lot of time. You have to remember a lot of different rules, and the unit will be able to do many different things, but won't be great at any of them. So you can't rely on this unit very much if you do that. Let's check out their basic loadouts. Usually every model in this unit could have a chopper, a slugger, and some stick bombs. Slugger is the pistol that we talked about, range 12, 1 shot, strength 4, 0 points of armor penetration, damage 1. Chopper is also something that we already talked about. The bearer makes 1 additional attack, it has 1 points of armor penetration and damage 1. This one is great, Slugger is meh, but at least they are free. Stick bombs. The Flash Gits also has this one, but their weapons is just much better that they are not going to use this one. Although, in this unit, maybe it will see some use. It has a range of 8. Grenade D6, so shots between 1 and 6. It has a strength 3, 0 points of armor penetration and damage 1, but it also has the blast keyword. So if the enemy has more than 6 models, you make hit rolls at least 3 times, but if the enemy has more than 11 models, you always make 6 hit rolls. But you shouldn't expect a miracle from this one. Your boss knob is able to choose between 2 different melee weapons. One of them is a big chopper. For 5 points, he will make 3 attacks in melee with strength 7, 1 points of armor penetration, and damage 2. It's a not bad upgrade, but he also has access to Power Claw. With this one, he makes 3 attacks, but with strength 10, 3 points of armor penetration, and damage 2. However, this weapon is unwieldy, so you have to subtract 1 from your hit rolls. Although this one is better even if it hits worse. It is really great to deal with Space Marines, vehicles, or almost anything and everything. The big chopper and the chopper is only better against light and unarmored targets, but the other guys in this unit will have that one. Okay, let's go through the other weapons. One of the Commandos are able to replace their slugger and chopper with a big shooter. It is a Daka weapon for 5 points, range 36. It is Daka 5/3, which means it makes 3 shots usually. But if the enemy is within half range, so within 18, it shoots 5 times. It has a strength 5, 0 points of armor penetration, and damage 1. Personally, I wouldn't use this one, but in some armies maybe it is good. For one commando, you are also able to replace their slugger with a Shuka pistol, which is a pistol for 5 points, but it has a shorter range of 6. It has D3 shots, so shots between 1 and 3. It has a strength 6, 1 points of armor penetration, and damage 1. It also has the blast ability, but the interesting thing with this one, if you are shooting at vehicles, then the damage characteristic is D3. I wouldn't buy this one either. Burna. For one of the commandos, you are also able to replace their slugger and chopper with a Burna for 5 points. Burna is a range 12 weapon with assault D6, so shots between 1 and 6. It has a strength 4, 0 points of armor penetration, and damage 1. However, this weapon is good because it bypasses the orc's weakness, the bad ballistic skill. Because this weapon is automatically hitting the target, so you don't have to roll hit rolls, just wound rolls. This one is one of the better upgrades. For one commando, you can replace its Slugga and Choppa with a Breacher Ram. The Breacher Ram is a melee weapon, so this one is a great upgrade. For 5 points, that commando gets to make 2 attacks with a strength 6, 2 points of armor penetration, and damage 2. Also, when you are making attacks with this weapon, the target doesn't benefit from the cover against these attacks. It is already good, but if the target has cover, this one is great. Okay, let's check out the last two. One of them is Rocket Launcher for 10 points. This has a range of 24, it is heavy D3, and it shoots rockets. So strength 8, 2 points of armor penetration, damage 3, and this one is blessed. Usually this one is a hit or miss. I would buy it if I would play Freebooters or maybe Death Skulls. But other than that, I think I would pass this one. And check out the last one, Custom Shooter. For 5 points, it has a range of 18, it is DACA 6/4, it has a strength characteristic of 4, 0 points of armor penetration, and damage 1. If you 100% that you want to buy something like this, you should go with the big shooter. This one is rather disappointing in my opinion, although it's looking cool. And here come the special upgrades. First one, Bomb Squig. Well, yes, this is exactly what it looks like. So when this unit is shooting or firing Overwatch, they just pat this little guy on the back and send it forward. How does it look like? When they are shooting at an enemy unit, within 12, you can shoot the Bomb Squig, which is basically you roll a d6, and if the result is 3+, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. In case of vehicles, you can add 1 to the hit roll. So in case of vehicles, you deal that d3 mortal wounds on a 2+. Each time you use a Bomb Squig, you have to reduce the number of the Bomb Squigs that this unit has. But they can only have 1, so you can shoot the Bomb Squig once. Okay, and the other one, for 10 points, Destruction Growth. Once per battle, when the Bearer unit fights in melee, you can treat this unit as they were in a terrain feature. This is come in handy because they have a special ability called Throat Slitters. When this unit is within a terrain feature, you can add 1 to your wound rolls. So basically, once when you are fighting, you can add 1 to your wound rolls even if you are not within a terrain feature. Other than that, they have an ability called Cunning Infiltrators. During deployment, you can set up this unit anywhere on the battlefield, but more than 9 inches away from the enemy's deployment zone. So it is some kind of a forward deployment. Other than this unit also has an ability called Sneaky Gits. So each time when a model in this unit receiving the benefits of cover, you can add additional 2 points for their armor saving throw. So when they are in cover and they get the benefit of the cover, they add 3 to their armor saving throws, which makes them kinda tanky for an orc. Other than this, they also have Here We Go, Mob Rule, and Whoa. Okay, and our last guy, Boss Roth. Currently, he is one model for 85 points, and you can see his data sheet. He is a special character for the Blood Axes. Probably he will keep that, so keep that in mind if you are planning to play other orcs than the Blood Axes. Maybe he will have some kind of an ability, so you can bring him with other orcs, but we don't know yet currently. Let's check out his abilities first, because these are the things that will probably stay the same. He has all the abilities of the Commandos that we talked earlier. But other than that, he has 2 types of aura abilities and he is that tough, so he has a 5+ invulnerable save. Let's check out the 2 aura abilities first. Terrifying Killer. While an enemy unit is within 6 of him, you can subtract 2 from the leadership characteristic, so they fail morale test much easier. Also, he has an aura ability called Red Skull Commandos. While there is a friendly Blood Axis Commandos unit within 6 of him, each time that unit makes a melee attack, you can add 1 to their hit rolls. So in melee, he buffs their commando buddies. That's nice. Also, he has a Warlord trait, Brutal but Cunning. How does it look like? Each time when your Warlord fights, he makes hit rolls, he makes wound rolls. But when you fail hit rolls, you grab the failed dice and put them away. After that, you make wound rolls. If you fail some, you grab the failed wound rolls and put them away. And after that, your enemy makes some saving throws. Some of them will inflict damage and some of them will be saved. You grab those dices, which didn't inflict damage, and put them to the failed hit and failed wound rolls. After that, with all these dice, you can make an additional hit roll, wound roll, and your enemy have to save them once more. So basically, you grab those dice that didn't inflict damage and you can reroll these. After that, the attack sequence ends. So in one fight, you can only reroll these once. But still, this one is great, almost as good as a fight again mechanic. Okay, we know all his abilities, now let's check out his weapons. He has 2 knives, which is called Mork's Teeth. With this, he can make 6 attacks, which will be strength 6, 2 points of armor penetration, and damage 2. He also has stick bombs, we already talked about these earlier, they are not so great. Okay, we already see what he can do now. If we take account the current upgrades that happened, well, probably he will be 20 points more expensive. Probably he will get an additional wound and an additional attack. Other than that, probably his weapon will have some kind of an upgrade. Maybe it will have a 4 armor penetration on a wound roll of 6 or 1 additional point of damage, which would make this guy really, really deadly. Even better if he has some kind of an ability to bypass invulnerable saves. Although in this case, GV will decide. Overall score. I would give this box set a 7.5 out of 10. Probably I'm a little bit biased, but you get access to 3 kits that are really new and not really available discounted by any other means. The flash kits can be kind of meh if you want some kind of an anga-banga punchy orc army, but still looking great and you can convert something out of them or just have fun with these guys. The Beast Nagas are really great troops. The Commandos are one of the best units, but if you don't like them, you can still use them in kill team. But they are definitely great on the table too, because they bring you some kind of a mobility and even able to do first turn charges and things like that. In cover they are really survivable and they can deal really well with enemy shooting units, and they are really great to harass enemy units that are just want to be left alone and shoot at you. Also the bomb squig is really fun. We don't know much about boss Roth, but he looks rather terrifying, and his old abilities were really good, but I think with this upgrade he will be great. Although keep that in mind that probably for 3 or 4 months he will be only available in this box set before GV lets out him in a separate box or a blister. So if you want him, currently this is the way. Thank you for listening, and if you are interested in the orcs, check out my old video about the Orc Combat Patrol set. And if you want to combine this boarding patrol set with the Combat Patrol box set, that can be really great, but for a complete army feel, you should pick up some vehicles, like trucks, battle wagons, or even buggies. But that one and this one is both a really great foundation, although clearly this one is more infantry based, because this is made for fighting in the corridors of a ship. As soon as we get the complete data slate on boss Roth, I will going to do a review on that. But for now, this is the best I could do. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and if you like what I do, please hit the like button, subscribe, or both. Usually I will upload a new video on every Tuesday. And if any of this information was a use to you, well then I'm happy. Thank you all. See you in the next one. Bye.